Before we get started, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the spiritual goodies box. I will leave everything that you need to know below. I've shouted them out before. The owner sends me her boxes every once in a while to show you guys. I think it's super sweet. This isn't sponsored. I don't get paid anything to tell you guys this. She just sends me her box in return for me letting you guys know. And they're normally perfect for new and full moon rituals and stuff. They come with tons of stuff in that. Oh, she sent you guys a discount code. Use Tawny10 to get $10 off your first box. www.spiritual/goodies.com. I will leave everything in the description below. This particular box is all about love and affection. They always give you this little booklet with everything that comes in the box and descriptions about how to use everything that comes in the box. We got love and attraction incense powder. Hell yeah. And this is perfect for this full moon that I'm talking about in this video too, because it's the Libra full moon, which deals with relationships. A sticker, tons of good rituals can be done with this full moon, you guys. Especially with Venus opposite of it, like, yes. Bring on the goddess vibes. The goddess spell that I posted like last year sometime, around this time actually, would be perfect for this too. Ooh, candle. Smells so good. We have a herbal mix to attract love. My love life hasn't been so hot lately, so but I'll likely use a lot of this stuff to maybe do like a spell or ritual for self-love, because self-love is bomb. Okay, self-love is thebomb.com. Ooh, okay, so this is a really pretty piece of rose quartz. Ooh, no, it's raw pink aragonite. Wow, I don't have a crystal like this. This is like really pretty. Ooh. We have love and attraction magic soap. We have a Lenormand fortune telling card deck, pink. So yeah, that's basically everything. Soap, deck, love and attraction herbs, the crystal, incense, candle, sticker, affirmation, and the little booklet thing. So awesome. Yeah, you guys, I really recommend her boxes. They are awesome. A lot of these boxes can be very expensive, but hers are not as on the pricey side as other ones are. I think they're pretty, like, a decent price, so definitely check them out. I will leave everything in the link below. And yeah, let's do it. What's up, my fellow weirdos? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawny Michelle, and we are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here, so please keep that in mind. And welcome to the Libra mother effing full moon video. So basically in this video, we are going to go over what you can expect for this Libra full moon. This is going to be important. The first part of this video, you may want to make sure that you watch, because it gives it gives the foundation for the rest of the video. And then in the rest of the video, after I explain the astrology of this Libra full moon, we are going to go over each sign, and you want to stay tuned for this, because this is such an interesting full moon. And I'm not just saying that to be like clickbaity. Like, no, this full moon is like fucking, like, there's a lot going on, okay? And this week leading up to the full moon is super, super intense, okay? So we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about what you can expect for this full moon. Make sure that you please leave me a like and a comment down below. It really helps me out, and just let me know if you resonated, what you liked about the video. Let's go. And this is the chart for the Libra full moon happening on this coming Sunday, March 28th at 2:48 p.m. in the afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. This is Eastern Standard Time, so adjust accordingly to your time. So this is the chart for the full moon, okay? We have a lot of interesting things going on here. So as you can see down here, this is the moon in Libra at 8 degrees. I know this is a full moon because it is opposite the sun at 8 degrees in Aries. Now, what makes this even more interesting is that the sun is basically exalted in Aries, which means it is pretty powerful. It likes being in Aries. You know, the sun is basically about the self and the consciousness of the self, right? And Aries is also about the self and individuality and independence, etc., etc. So this is basically what makes a full moon, when the sun and the moon are opposite each other in opposite signs. Okay, so now the next layer to this, right, is that basically the moon is in Libra, right? So what does this mean? We're having a full moon in Libra. First off, full moons are peak moments. They bring they bring something, you know, it's like something visible is coming to the surface, whether it's an insight, whether it's a situation, you know, whether it's something physical, something mental, something emotional. There's something that is coming to the surface around this time. This can also be somewhat of like an ending or closing something out or a letting something go. It can also be a moment of realization, revelations. It can also be kind of almost like in a movie where you get to the actual kind of like meat and potatoes of the movie, like you're like halfway through and you're finding like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. That's kind of like a full moon, at least how I think about it and my experience with full moons and what I've seen with a full moon in Libra. Right? What is Libra? Libra is the opposite of Aries. Aries is about the self, Libra is about others, right? So Libra is about relationships, other people, negotiation, compromise, harmony, right? It is about mirroring other people, right? Like having mirror images and seeing the different sides to situations, opposites, right? Balance, right? And so it really deals with other people. So this is going to be a massive week for relationships. So that's the first thing that you definitely want to pay attention to. A massive week for relationships. Sorry, I have my notes here. I just want to make sure I'm staying on topic. So another interesting thing about this particular full moon is that we had a new moon in Libra, which was the start of this cycle back in October. Right after we had a full moon in Aries. So think back to October. There was something going around in October, whether it was the beginning, middle, or end of October. We had the new moon towards the end of the month, but still, well, mid to end month, but it could have been anything. Something started back in October for you, and it may not have been quite visible at the time, but looking back now, you may be able to see it. So you could see themes coming up from something that happened in October last year in 2020, right? So you could be seeing the opposite side of something that happened in October. You could be seeing a different side to something that happened in October. There's something coming to some kind of boiling point or culmination point that likely started back in October. Now, that may not be for everybody. You may not notice it right away, or not everybody may notice something like that, but this is that cycle that we're in, is basically what I'm saying. So Libra is about compromise, right? So this moon is definitely bringing up those Libra themes of balancing the other side, compromising, coming to, you know, considering other people. So definitely massive for relationships, right? Now, the other layer to this, back to the chart, is that we have the sun here in Aries at 8 degrees as well, right? So like I said in my Aries season video for April 2021, the last video I uploaded before this, Aries is the sign of the self, the individual, right? The initiator, the cardinal fire sign, the sign that starts the new zodiacal year. So this is where a new us is born, right? A new time or a new beginning is happening, right? Like it's just like a new energy. Spring is happening, you know, creation is happening, life is coming back. So with the sun in Aries opposite the moon in Libra, there's something that needs to be worked out here before we can move on to this new us. There's something that needs to be compromised, negotiated, let go of, agreed upon or not agreed upon. You know, there's something that needs to be balanced out before we can move on right away, right? Now, the next layer to this is that this full moon is conjunct Chiron and Venus, and it's happening shortly after the Venus and Sun cazimi. And this is when Venus and the Sun in the sky are conjunct, and Venus symbolically is basically burning up in the sun's flames, dying and being reborn, right? So she is about to, you know, and this is a little bit after that, because she's already passed the sun just a little bit. She's at 8:56, the sun is at 8:18. So this is interesting because Venus is the ruler of this full moon because she rules the sign of Libra. So hopefully you're following me so far. Libra is ruled by Venus, but Venus is opposite of its home sign, right? And so, and the full moon that's in its home sign. So this is where this could be so many different things here, right? Definitely we are going to see a theme of opposites, possible conflict for some, unfortunately, but also really dynamics and contrasts and seeing different sides of something, seeing the opposite side of something, having to compromise, like I was saying, or having to let something go, you know, especially to do with some kind of relationship, agreement, contract, you know, possibly something financial as well. It really just depends on where this is happening in your chart, but all of us to some degree are going to see a lot of these themes. So now another interesting thing is that, you know, because Venus has just passed the sun and she's in Aries, she's not very powerful in Aries because she's opposite of her home sign. So, you know, she's technically not very happy to be there. And so she's having to worry about herself, right? She's having to worry about herself right now. She's having to move forward. She's having to find her own self-worth, her own confidence, her own independence. And so those are other things that, you know, you may be seeing, is possibly letting go of an old you, letting go of an old relationship, letting go of an old agreement, commitment. You know, there's something that we're letting go of in order for us to move forward, in order for us to initiate a new start for ourselves, in order for us to claim more independence, in order for us to find peace and harmony with more independence, right? In order for us to find confidence. So with Venus being reborn, she's like, holy shit, I'm a new person, right? And this full moon is happening in her sign to say, okay, what do we need to adjust here? What do we need to let go of here? Or what, you know, what situations need to be brought up before we can all the way move forward, right? So massive, massive relationship energy, massive, you know, possibly financial energy, massive decisions being made this week for this full moon. And do remember, you guys, just because the full moon is this Sunday doesn't mean that you're only going to see these themes on Sunday. These themes are going to be building all week, especially with some other things going on that we're going to talk about in a minute. So this could, a lot of people could see something about really getting closer to your own values, you know, kind of this opposition between what you want and what's good for you and what you feel you need to do and what's best for you and your own values and your own needs and your own desires and, you know, your own confidence and your own self-worth versus a relationship or somebody else. And this doesn't just have to be a romantic relationship, although it very well could be as well. So this is where we are finding a way to balance ourselves out. This is where we are making some kind of agreement, where we're letting go of some kind of agreement or commitment. You know, there could also be financial themes that come up with this because Venus does rule that as well. So these are the main themes that you want to watch out for. Now, I will say this full moon is conjunct Chiron, which is very interesting because the Aries new moon that happened at the beginning of October last year in 2020 was also conjunct Chiron. The Aries full moon, I don't know if I said full moon or new moon, but the Aries full moon last year in October, in the beginning of October, was also conjunct Chiron. And so this is definitely bringing something back around. Chiron can go either way, okay? Chiron is where we feel insecure. Chiron is where we have wounds in life, where we have pain, where we have insecurity, where we don't feel good enough, where we feel like there's something wrong with us, where we feel like, you know, we're never going to be able to, you know, do something that we want to do. And so, but Chiron is also where you can find your strength, where you can turn that pain into power. Okay, and this is where it gets really, really interesting as well, because Venus just got transformed. She is like literally fresh out of the oven of the sun and becoming a brand new woman. She's like, yes, bitch, you know, I am the goddess up in this bitch. I was just reborn. And she may not be like that right off the bat, okay? So that's coming, but right now she may be a little bit like, am I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? You know, like she may be feeling a little bit vulnerable, a little bit like, she may be feeling a little bit insecure, and Chiron's there as well anyway. So this is where we find beauty in our weaknesses. This is where we find power in our insecurities. This is where we sit with ourselves, where we sit with our insecurities, and even though it hurts or it may sting a little bit to let go of something, or to worry about ourselves, or to have to put ourselves first, or to claim our independence, you know, and yeah, those things aren't bad, but it may hurt to do it because it may mean that we have to let go of something, or something ends, or something, you know, or we have to figure something out, or we have to readjust, or we have to, you know, somehow find balance or negotiate something, you know what I mean, or find some kind of compromise, you know what I mean. So this is definitely kind of like a give and take kind of energy, you know, like as well, you could think of it as. So where do we need to see the other side? Where can we somehow balance out ourselves, you know, because so this is where some people may find that, okay, I can't keep worrying about all these other people and keep considering their opinions and their wants and their needs and all of that, you know, with every little thing that I do, you know, like I'm losing myself, etc., etc. So I need to just like completely let it go and do my own thing. And I need to just embrace my own self-confidence and my independence for once, you know, or this could also be, okay, like I see where maybe I've been being too selfish or too self-centered or whatever, so I may need to start considering, or they may have a point, I may need to see it a different way, I may need to see somebody else's side to something, right? So this is definitely it could play out either way. With that Libra energy, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. But a really good way to get through this energy is by embracing those insecurities, embracing those things that you think are wrong with you, and finding a way to love them, right, with Venus. So other things that are happening this week is that we are possibly, a lot of us are going to feel pulled in different directions, okay? The directions could change. We could be feeling pulled in different directions because there's so much happening this week, okay? So first of all, Mercury is coming into a square with Mars, okay? So it's going to be very easy to get into arguments, to not be watching what we're saying, to not be watching our words, to say things, or to be very blunt, or to not be seeing things clearly. You know, Mercury's in Pisces, it's not very great in Pisces, so, you know, Mars is in Gemini, and so these two are squaring, and, you know, Mars is in Mercury's sign as well, you know, so it's kind of like we may speak too soon about something that really we may not be very clear about, you know, and so that could be something. But by the time of the Libra full moon, that square will be done, so that's just happening like the first part of this week. Also, Mars is conjunct the North Node, okay? So this is definitely going to be pulling us in different directions. We may feel like our direction shifts. We may feel a little bit more talkative. We may feel like we have tons of options. Another thing that you really want to be careful for this week is accidents, because this could be a very easy week to have an accident or something unplanned. This is a very kind of accident prone week, so you want to be paying attention as much as possible. You also don't want to be doing anything that's like a lot, you know, that's like that's just like too risky. This is just not the week for doing that. You know, this week is a massive week for decisions, you know, a massive week for decisions. Also a massive week for possibly healing or forgiveness, a massive week of letting go of, you know, letting go of certain things to do with self and other. You know, whether it's like, oh, I've been too focused on me and not enough on you, you may be right, you know, I may need to open my mind or see another side, or whether it's like, okay, like I've been focused way too much on you and not enough on me, you know. And so this is where we're going to see that dynamic, you know. We could also see possible healing coming up from the past, or things needing to be addressed from the past in some type of way. It's going to be very easy for us to act impulsively this week, or to act without thinking this week, or to act in a big way, or over dramatize things, or get caught up with other people's problems, drama, stresses, struggles. And to a certain extent that can be fine. You just want to be careful, you know, be careful that you're not getting too wrapped up in somebody else's stuff. Be careful that you're not getting too wrapped up in what you're hearing or seeing, because it may not be all the way clear just yet, okay? It may not be what it seems. A lot of things are going to start happening this week that are not going to be clear and that could be possibly not all the way true as well. So, you know, Mercury square Mars can also be lies, you know, it can be flat out lies. And it could be lies that we're telling ourselves or lies that other people are telling us. So this is another thing that you really want to pay attention to and watch out for. What are you believing in? What are you, you know, how is your perception possibly altering the situation, or making you more amped up about a situation? Now, another thing that this Libra full moon could bring up is finding a solution where we didn't think there was one, right? Because this Libra full moon is trining Mars in the North Node, and it is trining Saturn in Aquarius. So, you know, there's going to be help there to find a solution if you want to, right? If you truly want to, there will be help. Mercury is coming into its conjunction with Neptune as well, so we may see some fogginess, some confusion, a lack of clarity. Like I was saying before, our minds may not be, our heads may be in the clouds, so to say. We may be daydreaming a lot. Our dreams may be, you know, pretty vivid this week. So those are some other things that you want to watch out for. So basically this full moon coming this weekend, we're going to be seeing themes of it all this week. It could be very healing. There may be some challenges or issues building up to it, but it can also be very healing if we allow ourselves to see the beauty, to find the harmony in whatever it is that happens. If we can use whatever happens, whether it's in our control or out of our control, to somehow change our perception of it, to see a different side of it, to find the beauty in it. So yeah, you know, that is basically what I have to say. I really feel like there's something coming back around here for a lot of people, whether it's from October or maybe just in the past in general, even childhood with Chiron there. You know, there's definitely a sense of figuring out where we may be wrong, you know, but also figuring out where we may need to change something, or where we may need to do something different, or, you know, where we may need to be a little bit more considerate, or where we may need to be a little bit more independent, you know. So but really I feel like for the most part with this Libra full moon, we are going to be seeing where we need to compromise, where we need to come together more, where we need to bring other parts of ourselves together and possibly another person together to fix something or find a solution to something, or to talk something out, or to find middle ground in some way, shape, or form, to find or make peace in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so it's going to affect everybody differently though, depending on your own personal natal chart. But yeah, that is basically what I have for this. So let's go ahead and get into the 12 signs. All the timestamps will be down below. All right, Libra, so this full moon is happening in your first house and your sign if you're a Libra ascendant. If you're a Libra sun and your sun is around 8 degrees, so I would say probably anywhere from like 4 to 14 degrees maybe, then you're going to be really feeling this full moon. But even if or if you're just a Libra rising and this is in your first house, you're going to be feeling that moon energy this week. You may be feeling more emotional. Your moods may be a little bit more amplified. You may be feeling, a lot of you guys could be feeling really good with this full moon energy, to be honest with you. There could be something though that is shown to you about yourself to do with your relationships, or there could be somebody in your life that is mirroring certain things to you about yourself. This is definitely a week that is bringing up relationships, possibly past issues or patterns in relationships that need to be fixed, or even issues in relationships, wounds or insecurities with your partner. They could be having some issues. So this is a time to you know, you may find that you're having to compromise, or that you're having to see something differently, you know, this week, and or that you are having to, you know, that you're almost kind of at this peak moment of something about yourself or your partner that is coming up here. So this could also bring up agreements, commitments, contracts, negotiations as well. So that is the energy that the full moon is bringing up for you. Now, this full moon is also trining Mars and the North Node in your 9th and Saturn in your 5th. So definitely a relationship-based week this week, and possibly seeing a new outlook on a relationship, or possibly thinking like about the future of a relationship or a commitment, contract, negotiation in your life, a partnership, something along those lines. You guys could be thinking about like traveling or learning something new, or you in general could be thinking about learning something new, possibly teaching other people, or educating yourself in some way to do with other people. There could be a theme of children that come up this week as well. Also passions, hobbies, and sexuality. Sexuality could be another big one for Libra, but this is really understanding yourself and your self-worth and how that plays into your relationships this week on a massive scale. So you really want to pay attention to that. Your work life and your day-to-day routines and schedules could be a little bit foggy this week. I would really try to relax this week. This is not a week to stay super busy or to be super busy. You're going to want to be doing something because you're going to be very driven to get outside your comfort zone, or to learn something new, or to explore new realms, new areas, you know, and you're going to be feeling very optimistic about things. But with Mercury coming up on Neptune in your 6th house, this is a time to relax and not be putting your body through like a bunch of stress. Watch your diet. Also, you know, it could be very easy for you to lose things, misplace things, or forget things, especially with schedules and routines. So keep that in mind as well. It is a good week though to heal something. This is a really good week to heal something, to work something out, to catch up on rest, to do something creative, to do something that inspires you, but just take it easy. So that is what I'm getting for Libra. Let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, this full moon is happening in your 12th house sector of releasings, endings, letting go, self-undoing, healing, all of those types of things. Also, the 12th house rules seclusion and institutions, hospitals, things like that. So you could see any of those themes coming up with this full moon, but you may be feeling a little more closed off this week. You may not really want to be around people as much, okay? Because you could be dealing with some self-worth issues when it comes to your work, your day-to-day routine, your health, your diet, your body, something along those lines. And so this is forcing you to kind of address those things, to figure something out, to balance something out, possibly getting away from the situation, or spending some time to yourself, or doing something behind the scenes to heal or work through the situation can really, really help right now. You know, you may have a lot of very interesting dreams this week that may contain clues on how to work through this situation. But this is really highlighting possibly a pattern or something that you've been struggling with in the workplace or with your day-to-day routine schedules, other coworkers, your day-to-day job, the day-to-day work that you do, your diet, your health, all of those types of things. So this is really where that energy is playing out for you. Now, there also could be a theme of home and family coming up here as well, stability, your foundations, your roots, your needs, where you feel comfortable, and then also a theme of financial matters or other people's money, transactional things, your partner's money, any kind of money or resources that you have with another person, or that you owe another person, or that they owe to you. Also some fears as well. You could be very motivated to pay something off, or to fix something, or to face something that you feel has been holding you back, but the options may feel a little bit endless, and you may be feeling not very clear on this. So you want to keep that in mind. there may be a lack of clarity leading up this week, and then once you get to the full moon, there should be a massive release or relief happening here that can show you some solutions that you're looking for here. So those are the main themes that you want to watch out for. You may also be trying to break some kind of habit or pattern that you've been stuck in as well around this full moon. That's another thing that could come up for you, Scorpio. So moving on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this full moon is happening in your 11th house sector of friends, social groups, acquaintances, groups of people or events, you know, with other people, social media, networking, marketing, you know, all of those types of things, people that follow you, you know, those are the big themes that you're going to see: social circles, social groups, also your dreams, ambitions, hopes, and wishes. So, you know, with this full moon happening there, those are the main themes that you're going to notice. But with the Sun, Chiron, and Venus in your 5th house sector, this is really forcing you, Sag, to address insecurities that you have with your self-expression, with your talents, your hobbies, your gifts, you know, where you feel less fortunate, or where you feel not good enough, or where you feel like you're slacking, or you can't show yourself to other people or the world, you can't put yourself out there. And so this is kind of bringing those things up for you to take a look at. Now, another thing that you could see coming up here is something to do with children, relationships, love, romance, sexuality, dating. Those are some other things that you could see coming up here, insecurities that you have with that, or insecurities or things that need to be healed in that area. Now, Mars is in your 7th house sector with the North Node as well, and going to be aspecting this full moon. So definitely it's bringing up relationships for you. You may be feeling, or your partner may be a little more all over the place this week, or kind of shifty, or they may be going through a new direction in their lives. If you have a partner, if not, this could be just relationships in general. You want to be careful. It could be very easy for you right now to, you know, get aggravated with your partner, or to get into arguments or fights, something like that, to be aggressive, or for them to be aggressive with you. So you want to kind of watch out for that, okay? Your partner's definitely doing something that they've been possibly very focused on or determined about, or you could be doing something with your partner or in relationships, you know, with those themes as well. But it's really kind of, I think, you know, going to be a time where maybe you need to have a difficult conversation, or where you need to have some kind of boundaries and to verbalize those boundaries as well, whether with certain people, a relationship, something along those lines. There could be some confusion with family this week, or in the home life. You could be feeling a little bit possibly lazy this week at home, or procrastinating on something to do with family or home. So there could be some confusion or lack of clarity around home and family this week as well. So those are the themes that I'm seeing for you, Sag. Okay, so moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, this Libra full moon is happening in your 10th house sector of authority figures, your future, your legacy, what you want to do in life, and what you want to leave behind, your career, your public image, your reputation. You know, this is really all about your future. What's going on with your future? What do you want in your future? What are your goals? Where are you building towards? What are you building towards? So you're going to see a lot of those questions and themes coming up, but there could be some insecurity, or some things that need to be addressed or healed in the home family department, or with the past, with your childhood especially, and with your personal life in general. You know, like, where are you maybe neglecting some home and family situations, or where have you been, you know, where have you been neglecting your career? You know, where does something need to be compromised with your personal life versus your public life, and what you want to do out in the world? You know, this is really bringing up those themes this week, and so that's really what you want to watch out for. Now, the Mars North Node conjunction is happening in your 6th house of daily routines, work, schedules, habits, you know, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So you could be very busy this week at work, or doing something on a day-to-day basis, working on something on a day-to-day basis, having like a lot of things that you have to do that may feel a little bit mundane at times, but you know, you're gonna have it may be a little bit difficult to focus, or you may be super focused, or you may have tons of different options or tons of different kind of things. So just try to kind of, you know, take it one thing at a time. You know, and the full moon is going to be trying this as well. So this could be a solution compromise that happens here with this Mars in your 6th house. Now, there could also be something that is happening with finances, purchases, money, assets, resources, something that you have or something that you're buying, or and I would be kind of careful this week with super big purchases. I would say that, but yeah, so there also may be, it may be a little bit hard for you to communicate, or for people to understand you this week. And this is because Mercury and Neptune are conjunct in your 3rd house. And it may also be very easy for you to forget things or misplace things. So you want to be careful with that as well. You know, you may not be 100% aware or clear minded this week. So that's kind of the issue here. It's going to be very easy for you to kind of daydream or kind of not focus, you know. So if anything, I feel like, you know, you may have some trouble focusing on the things that you need to focus on, or the things that you need to get done, your day-to-day errands, or, you know, appointments, schedules, work, things like that. So this full moon is kind of showing you, okay, like this is where things need to be balanced out, and this is what may be distracting you. It could have something to do, like I said, with your home, family, life, or even your past, your childhood, your emotional and internal self is really being highlighted here. Where are you feeling a little bit insecure, and you know, with the home and family life, you know, or with somebody in your family. You know, this could also bring up somebody in your family that is, you know, that maybe needs to talk or something along those lines. So definitely let me know how that goes down below, and what themes you end up seeing come up for this Libra full moon happening on Sunday. So moving on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, this full moon for you is happening in your 9th house sector of optimism, higher learning, education, travel, getting out of your comfort zone, really. You know, this is a time of really your future focused. You're thinking about what you want to do, what you're passionate about, where you want to go, what you want to learn, the adventures that you may want to have, and, you know, and also with other people as well. You know what I mean? Like, this is definitely a time of thinking about other people and how that plays into what you want to do. And so, but this may bring up something that needs to be addressed with insecurities that you have mentally, and, you know, with expressing yourself, or with communicating, or with learning as well. You know, you could be feeling very insecure about what you know, or what you have to offer, or the things that you the things that you do, you know, your behaviors and things like that, or talking to people. So this could be, you know, some kind of conversation that needs to be had. This could also bring up something to do with friends as well. You could also see something going on with children, romance, sexuality, pleasure. You know, you're wanting to focus on fun things and self-expression and what you're good at, things like that, but you could be a little bit distracted and all over the place, or there could be some lack of clarity or confusion around money, resources, and assets, or what you have to offer. Okay, so these things could come up. This is not a good week to make big purchases. I would definitely watch your money this week. It could be very easy or for you to forget something or misplace something. So watch out for that as well. So yeah, you know, this is really kind of addressing your insecurities when it comes to how you learn, or what you know, or you know, teaching, or helping other people, or your self-expression, or what you're good at, or your behaviors, you know, basically, and also how you communicate. Like, so those are the different things that you will be noticing, Aquarius. So moving on to Pisces. So Pisces, this full moon is happening in your 8th house sector of other people's money, finances, business, resources. Also, you know, fears and insecurities that you hold on to from the past that need to be faced. So this could definitely be bringing up fears surrounding relationships, money, especially surrounding other people's money or what you feel you owe to other people, even if it's not money or resources. If you feel like you owe something to somebody, or you have guilt in some way, or you feel like someone owes something to you, even resentments, you know, this is definitely going to be a week that's addressing all of those different things, or some of those different things. I mean, for some of you, it could be financial. For others of you, it could be fears and stuff like that. It could even be insecurity around finances, around what you have, around what you own, around what you make, you know, around what you have to offer other people. So this is something that is going to be bringing that up so you can harmonize it, so you can address it, and so you can heal from it, and so you can embrace what you have and what you're good at, and, you know, turn your insecurity into your strength, you know, turn your weaknesses into your strengths. You could be feeling a lot more confused this week. You could be feeling a little bit more daydreamy. You could be feeling a little bit more lazy as well, unfortunately, with Mercury and Neptune meeting in your sign. You also want to watch out for arguments with family members, or, you know, kind of frustrations with the home, or people that you live with, things like that. Your living arrangements and dynamics could feel a little bit all over the place and scattered right now this week, but that will get a little bit better as the week goes on, towards the end of the week, towards the Libra full moon. So, you know, that's something to kind of look forward to. So yeah, I think that whatever happens, you will be able to find a solution, or find a way to compromise, find a way to negotiate. Contracts right now, you know, if there's some kind of contract agreement, you may not be seeing things 100% clearly, so keep that in mind. And also, you know, this could also be like, maybe you don't feel good enough to, you know, do something that you've been wanting to do financially, or something along those lines. But this could, if with just being able to see a different side, or being able to negotiate or compromise, you could find harmony in the situation. So keep that in mind. There could also be something coming up with your partner's money, or your partner's finances if you're in a relationship, or your partner's resources. So something could come up with that as well. And I would let them know the same thing, you know, find a way to see a different side, find a way to compromise, find a way to negotiate, etc. So moving on to Aries, this full moon is in your opposite sign of Libra. Okay, so this is all about relationships for Aries. This is really bringing a focus on relationships. So you may be feeling a little bit insecure this week, and maybe, you know, this may be a week where you are taking a look at where maybe you've been a little too self-focused, or not focused enough on your relationships or other people. This may be a week where you may need to be a little bit more compromising, where you may need to even let go of something to do with a relationship, or let go of some kind of resentment pattern, or insecurity to do with a relationship or other people. This may be a week where you need to find a way to see the other side, or to see your partner's other side in the relationship, in order for you to heal and learn things about yourself as well, and to possibly even heal or work through something from your childhood, okay, that's been affecting you. This is a week where you are kind of almost being reborn in a way, Aries, by maybe being a little bit more considerate, and that's going to help you learn so much about yourself. And this is also a week where other people may mirror certain insecurities that you have. So keep that in mind. If there's somebody that's kind of getting on your nerves, really ask yourself how they could be mirroring something that's going on with you that you're not wanting to look at. So that's going to be a big one. Now, also, you know, and you also may want to ask yourself, like, is it them or is it me? You know what I mean? Like, because I can't control anybody else's actions and things like that. So if I'm being affected by it, do I need to look at my own feelings? Do I need to look at my own insecurities? You know what I mean? Is this is this coming from my own insecurity, or is this, you know, something else, right? So also, you may be a little bit all over the place mentally this week. You may be very busy. It may feel like you have a lot of things going on, a lot of things to do, but you want to just rest. Like, so you're going to be a little bit frustrated by this, I think, because you really just want to rest or catch up on sleep or escape or whatever. It's going to be very easy for you to want to escape, but Mars in your third house with the North Node is like, no, we have things to do. We have errands to run. You know, we have things to talk about. It could be very easy for you to let out some repressed anger this week, so you want to watch out for that as well. Your words could be kind of hurtful if you're not careful. And yeah, and you could also be doing something with like friends or other people, or there could be something going on with social circles, other people, like-minded people, etc. While, you know, stuff going on with your relationship as well. So yeah, you're definitely, you're motivated to like do things, but at the same time you're kind of like, I just want to rest and escape, and you know, there could be things that you're not seeing very clearly just yet that will come more clear as the week goes on. So keep that in mind. So moving on, and let me know how that resonates down below. Moving on to Taurus. So for Taurus, this full moon is happening in your 6th house sector of work, daily routine, what you do on a day-to-day basis, your habits, where you may be feeling misfortunate, or where you may be feeling, you know, like you've just been kind of working away at something. So with the Libra full moon, this is shining a light on this area of life for you. And it's kind of showing you where you may have, you know, certain insecurities that are buried, or repressed insecurities from the past that you haven't looked at, past patterns to do with possible relationships or other people that could be coming out in your day-to-day life or affecting your work, your day-to-day routines, your day-to-day schedules, your habits. You know, where do you have subconscious habits, subconscious beliefs, or you know, subconscious resentments even, that are affecting you on a day-to-day level now and holding you back, you know. And this is mirroring that to you this week with this Libra full moon on Sunday, but you're going to be noticing it building this whole week. So you know, this is something that needs to be resolved, where you need to find some way to bring these parts of you together, to heal these parts of you, to allow yourself to go into the insecurity or the self-worth issues or the anger, the resentments, whatever it is, and find a way to see a different side, to compromise, negotiate, to find peace, you know. And so there could also be something going on with friends, social circles, people that you know, acquaintances, etc., where there could be some confusion this week, or there could be some also confusion about money, resources, what you have, you know, things like that. So you do want to watch out for that. There could be a lack of clarity, or somebody could not be really telling the whole story, so keep that in mind. Yeah, and then let's see what else you have. Saturn in your 10th trining this full moon as well. Yeah, this full moon is definitely bringing up career and work related stuff, you know, where you need to find a middle ground. There could be some kind of authority figure, boss, or even goal that ends up helping you find a way to work through this situation with work and your day-to-day routines, habits, and insecurities with that. So yeah, that is basically what I am seeing here, Taurus, and we are going to move on to Gemini. So for Gemini, this Libra full moon is happening in your 5th house of romance, other your passions, your interests, your hobbies, children, your self-expression, and good fortune. So with this full moon, this is definitely bringing up a peak moment with those things, definitely bringing up a lot of you know, possible sexuality or relationship stuff, things to do with children, something that needs to be harmonized or balanced out here, or something that needs to be let go of here. You know, where do you feel like you have insecurities when it comes to other people, or showing what you're good at to other people, or showing, you know, showing off your work, or doing something with the things that you love to do. You know, where do you have certain insecurities with your relationships with friends, social circles, people on social media, you know, just different social groups in your life, or sorry, I just like forgot the word, like-minded people. Okay. Where do you need to somehow find the peace or compromise? You know, this could be with a friend or a social group in some type of way. Maybe you have some insecurities about your goals, your ambitions, your wishes. And so it's like getting back to the drawing board and balancing something out, fixing something, finding peace with something, you know. You know, this could also bring up relationship stuff and romance stuff, like I was saying before as well. Finding the peace with that in some type of way. Now, we also have Mars in your sign conjunct the North Node this week. So you could be feeling very all over the place this week. You could be feeling very like go, 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 but also very distracted, or like there's like a lot going on, a lot to do. So yeah, you could be feeling more motivated to do something, you know, to focus on your future, to focus on where you want to go, and you know what you need to do to get there, and focusing on what you're good at and your interest, and finding a way to bring that all together this week. So that is what I'm seeing for Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. So for Cancer, this full moon is happening in your 4th house sector of home and family, the past, your childhood, your roots, your foundation, your living arrangements, your living dynamics, real estate, property, etc. So you could see all of those themes coming up throughout the week, especially more towards the end of the week. But you may be getting moments this week, or certain situations may be coming up this week that can feel intense regarding your family and your home life and your personal life and your roots in the past, etc., and how that may have affected your sense of independence or self-worth when it comes to your career, your goals, your achievements, your future. You know, do you feel like and your leadership abilities, you know, do you feel like you are a little bit insecure to take the lead in something, or to you know, in your career with something, or to go after what you want in life, you know? And so this full moon is saying, okay, something needs to be resolved, or peace needs to be found in the home life or in the personal life, because somehow it's affecting, you know, your career life, you know, somehow the career life or the public life, the, you know, what you want to do out in the world life versus your personal life, your home life, where you feel comfortable, your family, your roots. Where does something need to come together here? Where do you need to compromise, negotiate, or bring something together here to find the balance with something, to harmonize something, find the peace with something? Or where do you need to let something go from the past? You know what I mean? That is holding you back from doing what you want to do in your life, you know? And that's especially true because you have Mars in your 12th house with the North Node this week. So this is a very fated week of changes with patterns and subconscious patterns that you've been doing for a long time that need to be let go of, that are affecting your mental state, that are affecting, you know, your career and how you feel about yourself. Yeah, there could be a little bit of confusion of how to move forward with that, or you know, what you want to do. You could be learning something new this week, though, that is possibly spirituality related or belief system related, that could really help you with this. Also, you could find a way to work through this by finding a certain stability with business or finances, or facing some kind of fears, or dealing with some kind of debt, or dealing with something that you feel that you needed to address a long time ago. This is really going to help you, and it's going to build that confidence when it comes to you know, your future and your goals, etc., etc. So hopefully that resonates. Definitely let me know down below if it does end up resonating. Moving on to Leos. So for Leo, this full moon is happening in your 3rd house sector of communication, your environment, errands that you have to run, little things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis, what you know, your neighborhood, your community, you know, close friends, local surroundings, etc. So you could be going on a short trip around this time. You could also be learning something new around this time. You could be a little bit more busier this week as well. But this is really actually, you know, showing you something that needs to be balanced out when it comes to possible relationships in your life, when it comes to what you feel you can achieve on your own, when it comes to, you know, compromising also with other people in your life, or even having conversations or important conversations with other people, or important close relationships in your life, to allow yourself to find a higher perspective, okay? This could be a change of perspective, a change of perception in a certain situation in your life right now. Now, there's also a massive theme here of social circles, friends, like-minded people, groups of people. So there could be something going on with that. You may notice some arguments though, or some frustrations or some conflicts when it comes to certain people in your life around this time as well, or something to do with facing fears, paying somebody off, or somebody owing you or you owing them, sharing money with another person, borrowing money, or something like that, something transactional, business, finances. There could be some like a lack of clarity around that right now, or there could be some issues with a certain friend, or certain social circles, or people in your life, or like-minded people, social media, something like that. So you do want to watch out for that at the beginning of this week. But I feel like things will be resolved, you know, towards the end of this week with this Libra full moon. So this is definitely balancing out your mind, balancing out and coming to peace with something, or with somebody else, with a conversation or something like that. So definitely let me know how that ends up resonating down below. Moving on to Virgo, last but not least. So Virgo, this full moon is happening in your second house of your resources, your money, your assets, your finances. You know, this is definitely a time where you are seeing the other side to something to do with your money, your finances, you know, what you own, what you have, what you want to have. This is not like a great week to make super big purchases. And this is also mirroring to you certain insecurities and fears that you have around money, finances, you know, also fears that you have around relationships as well, with, you know, the Sun, Venus, and Chiron conjunct in your 8th house, like, you know, around sharing things with others, around things that you feel you owe others, regrets that you have about the past, certain karmic debts that, you know, you feel that you have. You know, it's really mirroring something and showing you how to make peace with something there, and showing you another side of something. So this is going to be very important this week as this Libra full moon is building, that these are, you know, these themes that are going to get brought up are going to be very important for you to look at this week. You know, this is a time of facing deep fears from the past that you've been clinging to or didn't want to let go of, and seeing another side, you know. So yeah, so this is definitely going to be a week where you're seeing the other side is something to do with your finances, and addressing some kind of insecurity that you have with those types of things. So now there is going to be possibly a lot of busyness going on in your career sector, you know, or with certain things that you're working on for your future. You could find that you're becoming a bit distracted, or that there are a lot of distractions this week, especially within your relationship department, or within your commitment department, or with other people in general. You know, there could be a lack of clarity right now going on in a relationship. But, you know, and you could also find that you may, this could also be a theme of forgiveness, you know, with a certain relationship, or a relationship from the past, or some kind of healing with a relationship. But there could also be some misunderstandings, or some confusions, or something not being totally accurate. So you do want to watch out for that as well. Also, this could be bringing up certain habits that you have on a day-to-day basis with your health, your diet, your routines, your work, that, you know, that you may need to change or do something differently about, that may, you know, this full moon may also show you another side to this. So yeah, that is basically what I am seeing here. As the week goes on into next week, you will have more clarity, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing here, Virgo, and that is basically it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And if you didn't watch the first part of this video, I would definitely go back and watch that. And yeah, make sure to follow me on my other social medias, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.